Clark County Today is presented by Connell Real Estate. Hire an agent, get a team. Learn more by visiting connellrealestate.com.
Hey everyone, Jacob Granneman here with the Tuesday night update from Clark County Today. The rate of new COVID-19 cases fell sharply again this week, moving from 310 per 100,000 people last week to 262 this week. Clark County Public Health reported 26 new cases overnight, as well as one more suspected death. Active cases dropped to 400, but hospitalizations spiked again. As of today, there are 57 confirmed and 8 suspected cases in Clark County hospitals, totaling 11.2% of available bed space, a 4% jump from yesterday. The most recent data on testing shows the positivity rate dropping below 10% for the first time since late last year. The Clark County Sheriff's Office deputies involved in Thursday's shooting have been identified. On Thursday, the deputies were conducting a traffic stop which led to the shooting of 30-year-old Genoa Donald. According to a statement issued Saturday by the Vancouver branch of the NAACP, Donald was on life support at an area hospital. There has been no update on Donald's condition. Previous information indicated 4 deputies were involved in the incident, but based on new details from the investigation, it has been determined that 3 deputies were involved. The involved deputies who remain on critical incident leave are Sean Boyle, Greg Agar, and Holly Troop. The Southwest Washington Independent Investigative Response Team, led by the Vancouver Police Department, is conducting the investigation into the officer-involved shooting. Congresswoman Jaime Herrera Beutler held her first town hall of 2021 by phone this week and was joined by Clark County Public Health Director Dr. Alan Melnick for a discussion on the COVID-19 response. The 1.5-hour phone call featured a fairly even split on the 2 topics of the pandemic and also impeachment. Several callers also asked similar questions regarding how to access vaccine sites and schedule time for their shots. As we've touched on recently, widespread frustration from backed up phone lines and websites has prevented many residents from receiving the vaccine. Herrera Beutler said she was pushing for a piece of the $1.9 trillion relief package from the Biden administration to be enacted sooner to support enhanced vaccine distribution. The conversation then shifted into the subject of impeachment of then President Donald Trump, which the Congresswoman voted in favor of last month. Several callers expressed their support and asked for further explanation to her reasoning. The Congresswoman said after witnessing firsthand the destruction at the country's capital, she felt the former president's actions were dangerous and contradicted his oath. To read more about the town hall, visit the full story soon at clarkcountytoday.com. Battleground School District's Board of Directors is losing its most senior member. Monty Anderson announced this week that he'll be stepping down. Anderson was first elected in 2009, defeating incumbent Frederick Stryker by nearly 16 percentage points. He has served as the board president and vice president several times over those 12 years. Anderson, whose day job is a finance director at Tappanee Underground, said he felt that the timing was right to let someone else take over and that the board is in good hands with the current president, Mark Watron, and vice president Troy McCoy. The district plans to post the opening later this week. Anyone who is selected to fill Anderson's remaining term, which expired at the end of this year, would still need to run for the seat in November. Crews from the Clark Cowlitz Fire Rescue faced significant access challenges to battle a blaze at the residence near Woodland Monday afternoon. Firefighters were dispatched at just before 2 p.m. to report of smoke coming from a house next to I-5 at the Lewis River Bridge near Woodland. Crews were familiar with the residence and knew that making access to the structure would be difficult. To get to the house, crews had to make their way down a nearly half-mile-long muddy driveway. The driveway was too steep and muddy for regular fire engines to make it to the structure. So the initial attack was done by using brush units, which are small 4-wheel drive vehicles with a pump and hose that are usually used for wildland firefighting. To fully extinguish the fire, crews brought in Fireboat 24, a 30-foot boat capable of delivering over 1,000 gallons of water per minute. The property owner told fire officials that there had been a renter at the property and that he was in the process of having them evicted. There is no evidence of people at the scene when the units arrived. There are some familiar names on the all-decade team for Eastern Washington University. Here's sports reporter Paul Valencia back in action with more.
The Eastern Washington University football team, one of the top programs in the country, announced its all-decade team last week. And 4 players from Clark County are on that special list from the years 2010 to 2019. Roldan Alcabendis of Camas High School was the top kicker in the nation in 2018. Then there were 3 Eagle teammates who all graduated from high school in 2009 and excelled for EWU. Stephen Forget of Heritage was a 4-year starting offensive tackle who became an All-American. Ashton Miller of Evergreen was a 3-year starting center who became an All-American. And receiver Ashton Clark of Heritage shined in his final 3 years, including a 10-touchdown performance as a senior. Find out what they're doing now and their reaction to being named to the All-Decade team by reading our story on ClarkCountyToday.com.
Exciting stuff. Thanks, Paul. Well, after more than a week with our latest question, we're wrapping up another polling period at ClarkCountyToday.com. After asking you whether you would support Washington State Senate Bill 5066, which would require any law enforcement officer witnessing excessive force by another officer to intervene or be subject to discipline, we received nearly 675 responses. An overwhelming majority, nearly 81%, said they would support the bill. Our next polling question focuses on parents and whether you'll be sending your students back to in-person school when their grade level goes back. The question is live now, so visit ClarkCountyToday.com to cast your vote. Well, those are the stories we've got for you today. You can share your thoughts with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, where we encourage you to like and subscribe to be among the first to see when a new story gets posted. If you like what you see, there's a way you can help. Simply share us with your friends and family. That's it. If you'd like to share a news tip or a story suggestion, those can be emailed to us at news@clarkcountytoday.com. From all of us, I'm Jacob Granneman. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow.